Hi everybody, welcome back. I'm glad you came back. Um, it's going to be a lot of fun. Today we're going to start with some of the basics of crochet hooks. Now, I have some here that I want to show you. Whoops, where'd it go? There it is. Sorry, I have things scattered all over the place. Just so that I can grab them. This is the crochet hook that I always use. Look at this one in comparison to this one. Look how small that is. This is the one that I use for my doilies, my tablecloths, all the small stuff that I do. And that's a Susan Bates. Now, after all these years, trying out different crochet hooks, I have found my favorite, and it's a Susan Bates, and I have been using those hooks for years. I do have some Boyer. I tend to kind of shy away from these a little bit, because see the tip of it right there? It's not high, and this doesn't come down far enough. Not for my liking, because you're more apt to slip stitches, lose stitches. You're more apt to split your yarn when you're working, and you don't want that, because it makes your piece kind of not look professional. I mean, not that it really matters, but it does to me because I'm a perfectionist. Go figure. And this one here is the Susan Bates. See how high up it goes and how this is elongated? Look, I'm gonna put these up in comparison to each other. This one here is my preferred, because it won't split your yarn and you're less likely to lose a stitch. I crochet very fast, and I talk very fast too. So, especially when I'm nervous, and I'm very nervous right now. But I tend to go with the Susan Bates ones, only because of the tip of it, as opposed to the tip of that one. This one here, you'll get frustrated, because after all these years and I use one of those, I'm still frustrated. Now, my little bag of goodies. Now, I think I told you yesterday that I don't go anywhere without my bag of crochet. Comes in the car with me, comes on vacation, outside, at work, everywhere. That's why people have been asking me to teach them how to crochet, because they would sit and watch. So this here has all of my crochet hooks. It has a tape measure, which comes in handy. Pair of scissors and a pencil with an eraser. And you're gonna find that once you get started with a pattern, I personally don't like to mark up my book, only because I reuse them a lot, or people borrow them, and I don't really like to have it marked up. Another set that I use, my sister bought these for me for my birthday a few years ago. I looked at it and it was like, what on earth? So I opened it up and this is what I found. These crochet hooks right here. This little thing right here. If I can't sleep at night and I don't want to bother anybody else, or if I'm riding in the car at night and I don't want to bother anybody else, it lights up. It's the coolest thing. I don't know where she got it. I don't care. It's probably one of the best things that I've ever gotten. It lights up. So I can crochet in the dark. And another cool feature about this, see this, see the tip right here? Let me turn that on. See that? I can change the size of the hook to whatever I'm working on, which is also a feature that I love. Magnifying glass, because I know I need one occasionally. So this is going to be backwards, but I'm just showing you this because this pattern has this on the side of it, and it's all the materials you're going to need to make this project. Now, that's what I'm working on right now. I have my son's music stand here. He was very nice to let me borrow it. Just so that things aren't too wonky for me. And like I said, I'm still learning how to do this. So when you pick a pattern, your pattern is going to have a skill level. It goes from beginner, advanced beginner, intermediate, advanced intermediate, and expert. And it'll tell you the size of your project, the finished size of your project. Now, in the materials, it tells you. Now, I don't use this. I mean, I use it as a guide, but not for buying my yarn. It says here, Bernhardt denim style medium worsted weight yarn. 3.5. Now, that's the size of the yarn. This is a 3. It goes from very, very thin to like huge. And everything in between. And you need 196 yards, which is 100 gram per skein. So it kind of tells you how many skeins that you're going to need, and you're going to want to get all of it, because if you get halfway through and you don't have enough and you have to go to the store and buy more, it's not fun. Because chances are, and I ran into this early on, chances are you're not going to find the exact color, which is very maddening, to say the least. Trust me, been there, done that. So you don't necessarily have to buy the Bernhardt. I mean, if you want to, you can, that's fine. But I tend to go by the size of the yarn, And the colors that I like, not necessarily the colors that are here, but the colors that I prefer. And it will give you on the back of it, the yarn will have a, excuse me, will have a wrapper on it. And on the back of that wrapper, it will tell you the size of the yarn, the size knitting needles that work for that size yarn, and the size of your crochet hook. Which is fine, because if you look at that and look at your pattern, the two of them usually match up. So that's fine. You know, don't get weirded out about that. And it will tell you the gauge. Now the gauge is something that you do like a little square just to get your tension. And tension is very important. Because if you mess up your tension to begin with, the rest of your piece is not, it's gonna look wonky. And you're gonna get frustrated. So with that being said, this is how I hold my crochet hook, like a pen or a pencil. And it's easy for me to crochet like this because it keeps my arm even. Now let me show you. I'm just going to do, and this is just a chain stitch to begin with. I'm going to do a slip stitch or a slip knot right here. So your slip knots, always start with a slip knot because you can make it bigger or you can make it smaller. It's just easier that way. You put your crochet hook in there like that, and this is how I hold my yarn because it's just easier for me. And if your tension is not right, then your chain stitch will be all wonky. This is what you want it to look like. Even. I don't want to pull it because but this is a chain stitch, also known as a foundation stitch. Now, if your foundation stitch is too tight, everything else is going to be not what you want it to look like. If it's too loose, your work will be loose. And that's frustrating too, trust me. So this is a chain stitch. Let me do it one more time. And you can practice. That's fine. And if you have any questions, leave the questions down below in the comment section. That way there I can slow down. I can answer any of those questions that you may have, or show you a different technique or a different way to do it. But this is how, okay. Go around the loop, whoops, around and pull up a loop. Go around like that and pull up a loop. Around and pull up a loop. Can everybody see that? I hope you can. Pull up a loop. There you have your chain stitch. Pretty simple, pretty easy. And this is your foundation stitch. This is what starts all of your projects, all of them. So I think I mentioned yesterday that we were going to start out making a blanket, and we're going to make this one. It's very simple, very easy. It does say intermediate on here, but it's pretty simple. And you can go out and buy your yarn. It doesn't have to, it can be your favorite colors. This is why I love being creative, because it's open. You can do whatever you want with whatever colors you want. Me personally, I'm doing this as a Christmas blanket, only because I have leftover yarn that I want to use up. And before I bring any more into the house, my mother told me I had to get rid of some of it, because I have yarn all over the place. I mean, I have whips everywhere. Works. WIP is WIP, work in progress. So when I get sick of doing one thing, I'll move on to something else. And it's usually the smaller things that I will move on to. Which is okay. But I kind of need to learn to not get bored with the bigger things that I have to do. That's just one thing that I've never really gotten used to. But in the meantime, this pattern for this blanket is, and I will give you the materials, your yarn. If you want 2 different colors, then get 2 different colors. If you want just one color, get one color. It's totally up to you. So this one here is, the yarn size is a size 3. So as I told you before, on the back of the skein, on the paper that goes around your skein, it will tell you 3, 4, 5, whatever. Look for the 3. And this one here uses a size N crochet hook. N, which is a 9 millimeter. Yeah, and it'll tell you on the packaging the size of the needle. And I have some that are P's, Q's, M's, big ones. So go out, get yourself some yarn, and let's get started on this project. We'll start with it tomorrow, unless you have anything else you want to know. Please put it in the comments. And if you're finding these videos helpful to you, smash that like button and hit the subscribe and hit the bell, so you know when I'm going to be on next, or when my next video is dropping. So let's have some fun with this. Let's do it. I'm excited. I am very excited. And I want to see or hear the excitement from all of you on how you're doing, how you're progressing, all of that. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So if you have any questions, put them in the description or put them in the comments, and I will answer them. So until tomorrow, go out and get your yarn. I'm going to be here waiting tomorrow to get started with all of you. So get your yarn, get your crochet hooks, and let's do this. Have a good day. Peace.